Welcome to the Farside, where we discuss the strange, weird, and the paranormal, aka, as you know, at the Farside. This is Brian, and we've got Robert with us tonight.
What's going on?
We've got a pretty interesting show for you. But we gotta get a few things out of the way. Gotta do some plugging, get our contact info out there. We are a new show. We're getting all the wrinkles ironed out. Went through a couple of branding issues, trying to figure out just who we are, our identity, what kind of shows we're doing. We do have another show coming up, but we'll get into that after we get the Twitter handles and the Facebooks and the interweb page address out of the way. At Twitter, you can follow us at CS Podcast Radio, and that's the same thing on Facebook. You can find us the CS Podcast Radio, and we also have a Farside page, which is Farside CSPR. We also have a website. It's www.cspodcastradio.wordpress.com, and you will find our other recordings. Probably, I don't know what we're going to have there in the future. Maybe we'll have articles, a blog, maybe opinion pieces. Who knows? You'll be surprised, maybe. And, Robert, you want to tell them about the entertainment show we're going to be doing?
About a week ago we kicked off an entertainment show. We kept it under the Common Sense Podcast Radio moniker for that episode. But starting within a few days, we're going to be doing a podcast called The Remote Control. We will cover different parts of entertainment, whether it's video games, movies, TV shows.
Came up with that name, by the way, guys. That was me. That was me.
But it's not going to be like your normal entertainment show where we just cover headlines. While we will cover headlines, we will also have a nice segment where we talk about and debate different subjects within the entertainment industry. So look forward to that, guys.
I still say Ray and Kylo Ren are Luke and Leia's children.
And you are wrong. And it's Kylo Ren, not Kilo. But
was that just a regular CS Podcast Radio where we talked about Star Wars and movie news?
Yeah, that was last week. It was we used the normal Common Sense Podcast Radio podcast.
That was an excellent episode, by the way, guys. Check that out. Check out the other Farside episodes for some good laughs, some different thoughts, and we're going to do the same here tonight. So buckle in, buckle up, or jump out the window. No, don't jump out the window. Don't do that. I don't know. Maybe call up some your UFO buddies and get beamed up. Who knows? I don't know. Or pull out a bong and take a hit or two. Don't do that. If your workplace drug tests, I do not condone that. Wink, wink. Anyway, we got a different kind of thing going on tonight. Kind of has to do with the Hollow Earth theory, or the Hollow Earth hypothesis. Obviously, if you're into the paranormal world, you already know about the Hollow Earth, and you've probably listened to 120 million shows, and you might find some new, different thoughts in this episode. So we're just going to dig into it. This is basically one of Bobby's favorite theories, or whatever you want to call it. Bob, you want to tell them why this is so compelling?
I don't know. I think that what compelled me the most about this theory was the fact that there is somebody who states that he had a first-hand encounter and experience with the Hollow Earth.
There's actually a couple of people that have encountered this. There's like Norwegian guy. It's like a John Clave Sims Jr.
I'm not exactly sure on that. The biggest one that I'm aware of is Admiral Richard Evelyn Byrd Jr., who was an American naval officer, and he flew. He states that he basically flew into the center of the Earth, but I think his story, if you've ever gone and looked into his story, I think it's very compelling. Not to sit here and say that I believe it, because I think there's enough evidence to state that there isn't a big hole in the Earth, but there's interesting ideas behind all of it, and who knows, maybe it is true. Maybe it's another one of those government conspiracy things that we hear so much about. So,
well, Rear Admiral Byrd, he said that he flew over the poles, and he caught glimpses of woolly mammoth-like animals, and he basically came across forests and fields that shouldn't have been there. Do you think that maybe he just got confused, maybe with his navigation, or he got lost? Do you think that could have been the case, or do you think that beyond this ice wall up in the north, that maybe there is some kind of land, maybe it really is true that maybe there is entrance into what they call Gartha, and he maybe he did witness this.
True. I mean, it's a possibility. I don't know, because if I'm not mistaken, it's Byrd who said that he witnessed more than just the mammoths and such. I mean, there was other things that he saw, such as civilization. It's possible that his equipment screwed up and he wasn't where he thought he was, but I don't know. I tend to feel that. Again, it could have been just somebody looking for a story. It could have been, like you said, where he just wasn't sure where he was at. There's got to be some truth to something there, though. I kind of have to believe that.
Well, he said that, these are quotes from him. He said that it was that enchanted continent in the sky, land of everlasting mystery. Do you think it was like... when I read it, just trying to be like normal, level-headed about it, and just being critical thinking, I thought that maybe he was experiencing what they call a spatial disorientation when you're flying, where you can't tell. Like, say, if you're flying over the ocean and it's a clear blue sky, there's no clouds, there's no land features to use to navigate, and you become disoriented, and you can't tell if you're upside down or not. And maybe his plane got flipped over upside down, and because this does happen to pilots, and his continent in the sky was him being disoriented and looking at land upside down in his plane.
It's possible. An excerpt here from Wikipedia it's a couple paragraphs here I'm going to read pretty quickly. On May 9th, 1926, Byrd and Navy Chief Aviation Pilot Floyd Bennett attempted a flight over the North Pole in a Fokker F-7A-3M trimotor monoplane named Josephine Ford. The flight went from Spitsbergen and back to its takeoff airfield, lasting 15 hours and 57 minutes, including 13 minutes of circling the pole. Byrd and Bennett claimed to have reached the pole a distance of 1,535 miles. When he returned to the United States from the Arctic, Byrd became a national hero. Congress passed a special act on December 21st, 1926, promoting him to the rank of commander and awarding both him and Floyd Bennett the Medal of Honor. Bennett was promoted to the warrant officer rank of machinist. Bennett was promoted to the warrant officer rank of machinist. Sorry. Byrd and Bennett were presented with Tiffany Cross versions of the Medal of Honor on March 5th, 1927. The widespread acclaim from the flight enabled Byrd to secure funding for the subsequent attempt to fly over the South Pole. So, right there, I mean, we already see that he was somebody that was very highly regarded and recognized. And, I think that kind of puts a little weight to what he said he believed he witnessed. At least I think it does. He's not, he probably wasn't somebody out there looking to get any notoriety from a crazy story. He's obviously an experienced pilot. I mean, as experienced as you could be in the 20s. So is it possible that he could have been flying upside down and not known or something like that? I guess so, but I don't know. I think this is a little bit different than something like that, if you ask me. I don't know.
Yeah, he's definitely not like just some guy off the street telling you about, there's this fantastic land in the middle of the earth. I mean, and he's not the only person to have claimed this. I mean, even like the Phil Society. I mean, there's been other societies out there. Even now, today, there's just a straight up Hollow Earth Society, and they do believe that there is a land underneath the crust. It's just like what we experience on top, and they have their own sun and all that good stuff. Do you think this has anything to do with the theory of hell, or like the underworld?
Well,
I mean, this is like based. This is deeply rooted in myth here, and usually there's some kind of truth to myths. Do you think that maybe our ancient ancestors maybe came across people from this region inside the Hollow Earth when there wasn't an ice age occurring, or previously, before the ice age, before all the ice formed, and they're able to navigate or even walk with a land bridge? Who knows what's under that ice in Antarctica? I mean, we can get to Antarctica later, but do you think? Because I mean, there's so much more to discuss there. But do you think that maybe it was just a myth, or it turned into a myth, but it was actually based on some kind of reality? Because even like the Hopi Indian, they talk about the ant people that live in the earth, and the Tibetans, they spoke of ancient ancestors of man, or higher beings that lived down there underneath the crust and inside this hollow earth. And they, other descriptions of the sun, and they even have maps of land masses, and they explain how the sun works and everything. It just seems like there might just be something to it.
Again, it's possible. I'm not saying that there isn't some truth within this theory. I'm sure there is. When I sit here and really read up on it, and as much as I've done, you find different stories that you can tell it might be people just looking for attention, to people who truly believe that there is a completely different world in the center of the earth for the most part, just another civilization just living there. It's interesting, to say the least, but I think that it's tough to really grasp anything without having, and there's no type of evidence. I remember, I want to say it was maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer. This is when I first came across this theory, and I was just trying to learn as much as I could about it. And at the time, there was all of a sudden an article that was published, and I wish I could find it today. I've been looking for the last 3 or 4 days, but I can't. But it was published that on Google Maps, there was a point in time when Google Maps showed a big hole at the North Pole, and they don't know how long it was there for, but eventually that was taken down and replaced with a map that didn't show.
Yeah, I did see that. They had the South Pole that was exactly like that. It was all blacked out.
Yeah,
even in their, I don't mean to get off subject, but even in it was the Google Space, this Maps of Space, there's parts that are blacked out. So there's definitely something going on.
Again, you can look
in
at it
my
that way.
mind. I don't know if I can't actually prove it, but
does the government have Google in its back pocket?
There's something happening. I'm sorry, I was talking over you. Go ahead.
That's fine. I talked over you too, but does the government have Google in their back pocket? I mean, that's kind of what you're saying now. Is like, okay, government has Google in its back pocket. They're going to cover up this.
Didn't they give them old satellites, old government satellites, military satellites?
No idea, buddy.
Or they sold them at least, because they weren't bad and they weren't using them anymore. So why not sell them?
Yeah.
Isn't that how T-Mobile got started? They were using old government communication satellites.
No idea, not a clue.
Think something like that.
I mean, not to get off of what we're talking about with Admiral Byrd, but I came across another story.
Off subjects.
I mean, it's still on the same main subject, but we're getting kind of off Admiral Byrd now. I came across another story a few days back.
Operation Highjump. What do you think about that?
What's that?
Did you read anything on Operation Highjump?
No.
Where Admiral Byrd, same guy, Rear Admiral Byrd, who did the Arctic flights, he went down and he led an expedition. He even had his own naval fleet. And they went in. It's billed as an invasion of Antarctica. Antarctica.
There you go.
There we go. We got that one there. And so they're saying that they went down there and were pursuing Nazi bases in Antarctica, and they went down there and they had some strange encounters. Right? They ran into what some are hypothesizing to be Nazi saucer technology, and this is the UFOs that people experience is actually what the Nazis have developed, and they have a secret base under the ice, and it's even gone so far as saying that they have bases where submarines can go into. There's access under the ice shelves. That maybe they had alien help from, I don't know, visitors from some other world. Or that they actually found the entrance to the Hollow Earth, right? And they contacted the Master Race, well, what they're calling the Master Race, or the Outer Race, or the, I don't know what you'd even call them. And they had a technology exchange. And this is where the Nazis got all their high technology from, and they're still operating some sort of breakaway civilization down there in Antarctica. And maybe they're acting as intermediaries between mankind and these other creatures that live under the earth.
Possibility, I suppose.
This is like...
I mean, we do know that Hitler, at least we've been told in some studies, that Hitler was obsessed with the paranormal and the unknown, as well
yeah,
as
he was an
aliens. I mean,
occultist.
he was looking for any upper hand that he could, whether it came from
As
alien or
I
paranormal or whatever. It didn't matter.
as I mentioned, the Thule Society. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Thule, Thule Society. They believed in the Hollow Earth, and I guess it wasn't really popular amongst the masses. And Hitler, I guess as he gained power, and he wanted to distance himself from that association. Yeah, he basically ran him out of the Germany, Nazi Germany. From what I'm understanding, how it seems to be portrayed in popular writing. I mean, there's so many other sects that believe in this, but it does have a lot of scientific research. There's a lot of theories, and this seems to be one that has lasted through the ages. I mean, where was this first mentioned?
I mean, it's been popular in mythology, folklore, and I mean, it's been around for some time. It's not like it's something that just came about when, Hitler or Admiral Byrd or whomever it was thought they saw something. No, it's been around for quite some time. In 1692, the idea of the Earth consisting of a hollow shell was put forth by Edmund Halley.
Halley's Comet.
Yeah. He basically stated that the Earth is 800 kilometers thick with two inner concentric shells and an innermost core, about the diameter of planets Venus, Mars, and Mercury. The atmosphere separate these shells, and each shell has its own magnetic poles. The spheres rotate at different speeds, and Halley proposed this scheme in order to explain anomalous compass readings. So,
that's definitely based on the 7 rivers of the underworld.
I can see that.
Like the river Styx and all that. Probably thinking that as you pass them, you go into the different underworlds. But I think that's more of like a metaphor than an actual physical place. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, who's to say? Who's to say that it isn't real? I don't know.
There's another person. In 1818, John Cleves Sims Jr. suggested that the Earth consisted of a hollow shell about 1,300 kilometers thick, with openings about 2,300 kilometers across at both poles, with 4 inner shells, each opening at the poles. Sims became the most famous of the early hollow Earth proponents. He proposed making an expedition to the North Pole, thanks to the efforts of one of his followers, James McBride. United States President John Quincy Adams, JQA, indicated he would approve of this, but he left office before this could occur. The new president of the United States, who was... do you know who it was after John Quincy Adams? Come on. No? Okay.
Who?
After John Quincy Adams.
What?
Andrew Jackson halted the attempt. I was trying to see if you knew who the president after Adams was.
Oh, I totally don't know.
But Andrew Jackson halted the attempt. It is possible this is the source of the untrue legend that Jackson believed in a flat Earth and was consequently the only U.S. president to do so. So Andrew Jackson at the time believed that the Earth was flat, which is kind of ridiculous in the 1800s, but that's all right. And there was almost an expedition led by John Cleves Sims Jr. I'm not exactly sure who he is, but he was one of the ones that talked about the openings being at the North and South Pole, which is very similar to what Admiral Byrd said he witnessed at the North Pole. It's kind of interesting, but could he have read something like this? Possibly, but again...
Even the Mayans, like, not to get off the scientific stuff, but, because, I mean, we all know there's a lot of scientists that are a bunch of pompous assholes, right?
Yeah.
They sit there. Do animals think? Do they think that they know about themselves? Like, you gotta be stupid. Of course they do, right? I mean, of course they're gonna say, "Oh no, of course there's no entrance to the Earth. The Earth is solid." But even now with recent technology, they've used like listening devices using seismic data, and they've discovered that there are pockets underneath the crust that are pretty much hollow, and they've discovered that there are vast oceans under the crust. I mean, I don't think it's actually like just straight water. You know, there's aggregate in there, but there's pockets of water. And when volcanoes erupt, there's certain rocks that come up through these volcanic vents, and they can study that, and they say that there's no way that these geological formations could have been formed without the presence of water. So, I mean, there's definitely things that we don't know about what's going on inside the Earth. I honestly think that the core of the Earth is a lot like the sun. That there's some kind of nuclear reaction happening there. I mean, just thinking outside the box here, or inside the box, however you want to put it. It doesn't matter to me. It's just a thought here. We look at all of the different sizes of stars. I mean, we see the sun and our sun, and we know that it's actually very tiny compared to others. And there's ones that are, 100 times the size of our star. So why wouldn't there be smaller stars than our own? And they don't actually have. Maybe it's like a brown dwarf. Maybe it's not actually like something that produces light. Because I mean, if there was a hollow Earth and there were openings, wouldn't we see light shining out of these holes? If it's the way I'm imagining it, at least, as there's like some kind of hollow other world where there's jungles and dinosaurs and giants and reptilians and pyramids that they built, and who knows, some lost traveler, and he got some weird device, and there's a T-Rex chasing after him.
Wait, we talking about that Brendan Fraser movie right now?
What's the Lost World?
Oh, wait, okay, we'll talk about that terrible Will Ferrell movie, which is a remake of a very, very bad show called The Lost World. Okay, gotcha.
But I mean, basically that is, the Hollow Earth. I want it to be real, man. I don't care what anybody says. There's a Hollow Earth.
It would be interesting, and there's.
I say that because we don't know. We haven't dug down that far. We drill down in our machines. We can't get so far. Mm-hmm. There's no way of really knowing it. And there's only so much data you can collect from earthquakes and volcanoes and stuff. I mean,
I can tell you right now.
What kind of expeditions have we sent into these polar regions?
We have only so far drilled 7.5 miles into the Earth's crust.
There you go.
So there's still 3,962 more miles to go, and that's from just a quick Bing search of how far we ever dug into the Earth. So 7.5 miles. You figure there's almost 4,000 more miles supposedly of Earth between one side to the other. There's might be something there. But then again, you also have to think about this. Okay, how does the sun, because there's been theories about the sun, they have their own sun in the center of the Earth. How is it there? Why is it there? How is it not, heating things up? Like, how is it that our oceans are so cold the further down you get. Don't you think that it would be warmer down the further you get down then? Because that sun would be heating?
It does get warmer the closer you get to the center of the Earth.
Okay.
Like in mines, when you go deeper down in the mines, they get hotter and hotter.
Okay, good point.
Which, I mean, there's certain mines where it gets so hot that they can't even work.
Okay.
I just think maybe it's not this fantastic world that we all want it to be. But I mean, there could be some kind of basis for this theory, though. Just when you think about gravity, for such a massive object, it's pulling in on itself, right? And there's going to be a point where, like, I guess, what's the word? I can't think of words now. Silly me. There's going to be like an equilibrium in the gravitational forces pulling or pushing in. And there's going to be a point where the pushing is going to stop. And there's going to be a point directly in the middle of this object, this massive object, whatever, I don't know. We're just imagining this ball of matter, and, it's a weightless object in space, like a planet. And there's going to become a point where you're going to pass the gravitational forces, where it's no longer going to push on itself, and there will be a weightless point in the middle.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not going to be all the way through, like the gravity. You're just you're gonna pass. You're gonna push through a certain point in the gravitational force, and it's gonna be acting negatively.
So explain to me volcanoes. I mean, that's it.
Well, you do have different plate tectonics.
Okay.
They're grinding and bumping against each other.
That sounds like a bad rap song right now. Bumping and
Hey,
grinding.
bump and grind on my volcano. I got a music career ahead of me.
Oh, yes, you do. I guess we better pack up the podcast. So.
I mean, there's like a lot of stuff that that speaks against this Hollow Earth thing. But I mean, there's based off of this Admiral Byrd account, people are saying that the Earth isn't actually as it appears on our maps. That there's more land past the north, and not just going over the other side of the planet, but there's more land that we're just not being told about. There's just no account for it, and maybe it's based on what some people talk about. You find all kinds of shit on the fucking web, right? And what they're saying is there's more land at the North Pole past these ice walls. I don't know how. I don't know how that is, because we have satellite data and stuff.
Well, it could be just a big conspiracy. Everything's being covered up for some reason or another. Maybe that's where they keep all the not really dead celebrities.
And Elvis, dude.
Elvis,
seen him last night.
Tupac.
Yeah,
Biggie Smalls, Michael Jackson, Muhammad Ali. I mean, the list goes on. None of them are dead. They're just...
I mean, amongst these theories, right? They're talking about... I mean, the Hollow Earth is kind of neat. Then you got, like, the Flat Earth theory, right? Flat Earth is kind of...
Which, like I said, was last believed to be true by Andrew Jackson, or the last president to believe it.
But there's like this huge thing on YouTube lately that have you seen all those videos that have popped up about flat Earth?
Not so much.
Dude, just go.
I'm looking at it real quick.
Type it into the. I'm telling the listeners, just go type in flat Earth.
Well, I mean, it's pretty quick. I mean, the flat Earth model is an archaic conception of the Earth's shape as a plane or disk. Many ancient cultures subscribe to a flat Earth cosmography. Yeah, there we go. That's how we say it. We're terrible at saying words. And it was including Greece.
Yeah, not good at saying them.
Greece.
You can sure type them, though.
Believed in this until the classical period, the Bronze Age, and the Iron Age civilizations of the Near East until the...
Is there any real proof that ancient peoples thought that the planet was flat? What is that even based on?
Well, I mean, we can go back to...
You hear that a lot, like you just taught that in school. Oh, well, they thought the Earth was flat. They were stupid.
I mean, we can go back to...
all the answers now are scientifically advanced.
We can go back to the idea when, people from Europe were trying to cross the sea to go to India. People believed that it was just or before then they believed that you would just fall off this side of the Earth. They didn't know that you could essentially find a way to go around the Earth at the time. They were like, you're going to fall off the side of the Earth if you go that way.
And they had Atlantis and stuff. They talked about the forgotten continent and the lost tribes and everything. Man, North and South America are Atlantis. Okay. I mean, just think about it. Say, all right. Okay, we don't know about North and South America, right? We just know about, Europe, Asia, Africa. Just that generalized area of, like, the Mediterranean.
All right.
And, okay, we don't know about North America, but there's this lost continent out there. We don't know where it is. It's on the other side of this body of water, and people have disappeared looking for it, so don't go there because they just fall off the edge of it.
So you don't believe it's a fictional island? You believe that it's...
I believe that it's North and South America. Because, they talk about, like, Atlantis being the city with, like, these amazing floating gardens, and they had all this amazing technology. I don't know what the technology is, but they had amazing technology. And then you look down at, like, Mesoamerica, whatever you want to call it. You have the Mayans, the Incans, and the Aztecs, the bloodthirsty Aztecs. No, but they had pyramids and everything. They were built pyramids, and they had, like, the long counts, and they who knows what else they knew before all the records were burned.
Wow.
But it showed that they had advanced knowledge that still baffles our scientists today. Are so advanced scientists that know everything, right? That they purport to know everything, or at least they act like it when you talk to them. Or the people that think they're scientists because they have a 4-year degree in college. Whatever. We won't get into that. But North and South America are definitely Atlantis. There's no doubt about it in my mind. And
it kind of makes sense, with the whole continental drift idea, especially once that became accepted in the 1960s.
You just want to throw out some facts, don't you?
I'm doing that right now, yeah. I'm the fact guy, I'm sorry. But according to Wikipedia, continental drift became widely accepted in the 60s. It increased the understanding of plate tectonics, demonstrating the impossibility of a lost continent in the geologically recent past.
Who said that?
Doesn't say anybody specifically. It's just on Wikipedia. So it could have been, your mom the other day. Just
could have been anybody. It's on Wikipedia. But I mean, let's just talk about stuff here, man. Like, let's put the articles down for a second, and we'll just talk about it.
Okay, I mean,
unless if you want to just throw out factoids in the middle.
No, it's fine. The lost city or lost continent of Atlantis, whatever you want to call it. Again, I don't believe in. I think it's far-fetched.
They had those maps those Phoenician maps that the Arabs copied. Admiral, what was his name? Piri Reese.
Now who's throwing out the facts?
And they have these maps that have South America and Antarctica. I believe North America, parts of North America. Well, it's basically like the eastern seaboard of the Atlantic Ocean on North and South America, I mean they're like perfect, and it has Antarctica without the ice, and supposedly that it would have been 10,000 years ago. So these maps, this is basically like ancient alien theory stuff here. Well, it's used a lot, but I just think they're old maps from this civilization, this global civilization, because there's definitely, there's pyramids all around the world, and they were definitely, like, all these old cultures were definitely connected. So definitely the ancients didn't believe that the world was flat. Maybe some dumb assholes in the medieval era that didn't know anything about anything because they were bumpkins on a damn pig farm thought the world was flat because they were just fucking stupid. They didn't know anything. Maybe that's what that's about.
I think it was more about...
I don't think the scholars of that time were stupid assholes. That
well, you have to think about it.
People, but
but you got to think.
Passing with my heart here, man. With my heart.
They were afraid back then. It was most of what they knew back then was based off of fear and the inability to explore. I mean, there were people that wanted to explore, but they were fearful to go, and some people were fearful to go and explore for fear of falling off the side of the earth or flying too high.
Those people lived to tell about it because they didn't go anywhere. And the people that weren't fearful went out there and did it
and died.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean they died. Maybe they did discover North America, and they were just like, man, I ain't going back to that hellhole.
Yeah.
All those assholes that think the Earth is flat. Yeah. I don't know. I bet you it wasn't that. But
or they got eaten by a bear, or got killed by Native Americans.
I mean, there's accounts of like Nordics. They describe them as blonde-haired men coming from the north. Like the ancient Mayans and stuff, they talk about it. Even they traded with them and stuff, and they brought them. I think it was like bronze axes and stuff. There's Native American tribes that were speaking Welsh when who was that? Lewis and Clark, when they were doing their expedition. I think it was through like the Louisiana Purchase and Montana territories. Mm-hmm. And they came across this tribe of Indians, and they spoke Welsh, and they were making boats just like the Welsh did. And there's lots of evidence in like Minneapolis, or not Minneapolis, Minnesota, where and locally they talk about how I think it's the Norse, or it might have just been like the Vikings. I'm not exactly sure. I don't got the facts on this, but they talk about how they were the first ones to settle the land, and they find like land claims with the rocks, and they have runes carved into stones and stuff. So I mean, like basically, what our scientific community is saying is fact is largely not based on facts or archaeological evidence. They want this pre-Columbian narrative where they can claim that their culture is the most superior of them all, and all the other cultures, they never accomplished really anything, and therefore that gives them preeminence over these other cultures. I don't mean to sound like an SJW, but I mean this is basically how the British mindset is, and you see this from Oxford. You know, Oxford's been around since what, like the 1100s? They've
Sure.
been around. No, they have that. The College of Oxford has been around for nearly 1,000 years. It might even be 1,000 years now. Look up that piece of information.
All right, looking up.
Look up like the creation of Oxford, or whatever. I'm sure they'll be touting how long they've been around and making.
Yeah. Let's see. Founded in 1096.
1096. Think about that. It's 1,000-year-old college, and this is like basically what they're basing their shit on. Like, well, their shit, their knowledge, their knowledge base. And I'm sure this is basically like knowledge that came from like the Holy Roman Empire, which came from the Roman Empire, and I'm sure they got a lot of knowledge from the mystery schools of Egypt, and the Egyptians got theirs from Babylon, right? So I mean, this is like stretching all the way back, probably 10,000 years. And who knows how distorted that knowledge has been? Word of mouth is. You tell 3 people and the story's wrong already, and you put 10,000 years in there. Jeez, how wrong is that knowledge going to be?
No, you're not lying. You are not lying.
And you listen to a guy named Brian on a podcast. How wrong is that information going to be?
Maybe we should start our own university.
Dude, we would be just as legitimate as they are. We just tell them stuff. Oh, look at this. Well, we found it on Wikipedia. It gotta be true, right? I mean, you see that. Just whatever.
Oh, man. No, I mean, I understand what you're saying with a lot of it. I'm sure at some point, there's been truth in all of these different theories, whether it's Hollow Earth, Flat Earth, or whatever. But, again, I don't know. Getting back to, why is there this thought? No, why is there this thought of the Flat Earth? I mean, getting back to that, I can't. I don't know. I don't know how people.
I definitely like Flat Earth. I can see what makes people think that.
We know we have flown around the Earth before. Well, not you and I personally, but
you see NASA's videos, right, of them flying over Earth with the International Space Station.
Oh, I mean,
they're using fisheye lenses. It's like, why are they using a fisheye lens to make themselves appear as if they're higher off of the surface?
How do we know they're actually in space? Oh boy.
But I mean, all that flat Earth shit. How would the space station orbit over Earth if it was flat? It doesn't. I don't know. I'm not trying to spoil it for flat Earth people. Fuck it. The Earth is flat. All right, guys. Earth's totally flat.
Well, that completely negates anything about a hollow Earth.
Because no, it's flat and hollow. It's a big cube.
It's flat.
It's a time cube.
Okay.
Gene Ray's time cube, man. I'm telling you, and it's hollow. Gene Ray didn't know about the hollow Earth. And dude, told you guys we're going to learn something new today, because I just learned it myself. It just dawned on me. It was an epiphany. Gene Ray, the reptilians, Flat Earth Society, yes.
Oh, not okay. See, I thought you were talking about here. I thought you were talking about Jean Grey, the X-Man. But okay, you're talking about somebody else.
You know what Time Cube is, right?
Not so much.
Dude, guys, you gotta go check out Time Cube. This is like the best stuff ever. Like, you gotta give the guy some credit. I mean, he's like, schizophrenic. I think schizophrenic is the best. Because they have the best information out there. I think they're like totally legit. But check out TimeCube. Just Google TimeCube.
Real
It's
quick,
the original page. The
just so,
timecube.com, it's gone. It's not there. The original information isn't there. You're going to get a duplicate page.
Here, just real quick, so people know what they're getting themselves into. TimeCube was a personal web page operated by self-proclaimed wisest man on Earth, Otis Eugene Gene Ray.
Gene Ray is the wisest guy on Earth. He's the Earth wise guy. The Earth guy. Wise Earth guy. I'm trying to find something funny to say about it. I can't find
it was founded in 1997. The website domain name expired in August 2015, and the website was last archived by Wayback Machine on January 12, 2016.
Dude, so TimeCube is the best. TimeCube. I gotta look it up. I gotta go.
We'll go to Wayback Machine. You can go to Wayback Machine and check it out there. So at least it's not completely gone for those of you who actually want to go check this out.
Timecube.2enp.com. It'll be down below. Whatever. It'll be in the description. Dude, TimeCube is the best. You guys, see, I'm going to read some TimeCube. You guys are in for some TimeCubage. See, like, I'll just read it. Alright, this is, like, where he decides to start his webpage. Dude, it's epic. Because in 1884, Meridian Time personnel met in Washington to change Earth time. Like, there's a whole, like, organization of Meridian Time people. First words said was that only one day could be used on Earth to not change the one-day Bible. So they applied the one day and ignored the other 3 days. The Bible time was wrong then, and it proved wrong today. This is a major lie. Has so much evil fed from its wrong. No man on earth has no belly button.
What the hell are you reading?
Every believer on earth a liar.
What are you reading?
But I mean, he goes into this belly button stuff.
It doesn't. We talk about changing time to one day, not 3 days to belly buttons. Like,
dude, the time, dude. When you look at it, when you put all this shit to the side, like say, when you like divide the Earth into 4 quadrants, and you have the 4 seasons, and the way time operates, you know, you have like the 24 time zones, right? And obviously, at some point on Earth, it's always going to be morning, it's always going to be afternoon, it's always going to be dusk, and it's always going to be
night,
midnight. So, at one point or another, there's always going to be 4 points of the day happening, right? And it's rotating. That's TimeCube. I mean, he's crazy. He can't really, like, go without going into these crazy tangents about, you know, the fucked up education system and stuff. Everybody knows the education system sucks. But, I mean, TimeCube's awesome, dude. You guys have to go here. Like, if you like crazy, weird stuff, like, I bet you half of you already know about TimeCube, and you're just sitting there like, yeah, I totally know about TimeCube, dude. You're not telling me anything new. But, dude, if you don't know about TimeCube, go to timecube.com or timecube.2enp.com. You gotta check this out. This is like the best stuff on the net. Like, the internet was created for Gene Ray to tell us about TimeCube. I'm telling you. Fucking love it. And, I mean, TimeCube, talking about cubes, I mean, there's other theories. We touched on the Matrix idea, how your mind is uploaded into a computer. But I want to get into, I guess, the Hypercube idea. Basically what it is I mean, I don't even think hypercube theory is really even out there. I mean, I've looked for it. I mean, I've seen stuff, talking about like the Tesseract and like just the hypercube, how it operates, and it's just basically a square that keeps collapsing and folding into itself. But my theory, based off of the Matrix theory, would be, and my own psychedelic trips using salvia. I mean, this is really great, credible stuff, huh? You still here with me, Bob?
I'm still here.
You totally had your mind blown with the time cube. We're going into the what am I talking about?
I don't know. You were talking about tesseracts and hypercubes. So
yeah, the hypercube theory.
All right, there you go.
I lost my train of thought there for a second. So basically, we're all energetic cells. Just think like bricks. We're all just bricks in the wall. Bump, bump, bump. You know the song, Bob.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we all. But basically, we're just cells. We're energetic cells, and on some other level, we're constructing whatever. We're part of this other greater thing. I don't know what it is. Haven't seen it past that much. But basically, we're all in these, I guess you could call us soul groups or whatever. I'm not a Scientologist, not that kind of soul group. But we're in these blocks of energetic cells, and how we each experience our own individual world is by this hypercube, and it's basically, just think of the hologram deck on a Star Trek, right? And how, or is it the holodeck? I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, Star Trek heads.
Star Trek heads.
I'm not very well versed in Star Trek stuff, but you guys get the basic idea of the holodeck. So this is basically the hypercube theory, that as you move through the world, this block, this space that we're all in, we're able to experience it. We're standing still, we're stationary, but it's the illusion that we're moving around in this world, but we're not actually moving around anywhere. And it's this world that's folding and collapsing around us. We don't actually move. The world's moving around us.
Basically like a video game. When you are playing a first-person video game, the screen, your character's not moving. The screen and the environment around you is moving.
Yeah.
It just makes it look like...
Thanks. Oh, yeah.
Little easy way to explain it there. There you go.
Check out Hypercube or Tesseract, anything like that. I mean, there's multiple visual illustrations showing you how the hypercube works. You could run into it. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff on the net, but I haven't actually ran into the hypercube theory anywhere. I'm pretty sure I'm not the first person to have thought of this. I don't claim it, but because it's not spoken of anywhere, and me and Bobby, we like all of these ideas. We like all of these theories. I mean, they're just new, they're different. It takes you out of your everyday world, makes you think, makes you wonder. I love all of these different ideas. I like talking about the weird, the strange. I like talking about the paranormal. I love the Farside. And I'm not sure, Bob, you got any more to add? I mean, we could go on, but I think that's for another time.
Yeah, no, I'm good here. Just, definitely everybody let us know. Either tweet us, you can email us, you can reach out to us on our website. Anyway, on the Facebook page, just let us know your thoughts. If you have some cool, interesting theories that you've heard or want to...
Yeah, reach out, guys, please. Feedback, anything. You want to hear about us talk about any kind of different subjects you like. Be it anything. It doesn't matter. Like, we're going to get into it. But let us know what you're into so we can get to it first.
And if you have any...
love our fans. We'll do anything for our fans. Well, not anything.
And I won't go that. I won't go there. But
I'll do anything for fans, but I won't do that.
Definitely, if you also have any questions or you want to add any stories of your own to previous stories that we've done, whether it's from our first episode where we talked about different types of aliens, the paranormal, or even our second episode where we talked about the Matrix theory.
We're going to retouch on all these subjects.
But definitely give us some feedback on it. Give us your own stories, and we'll definitely go from there.
From us at Farside, I hope you guys had fun tonight. I hope you made you think. I hope you enjoyed Timecube. Just check us out on Twitter, Facebook, on our website on WordPress, where we can be found on iTunes. There's going to be information down below. Check it out. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Leave us some messages. Just let us know what you think. Even if you hate us, just say, hey, you suck. Your show sucks, but it doesn't. I know you're a liar. I know you love it. That's it. That's Farside. Love you guys. Check you guys out on